They called themselves Gen Z Baddies because they thought nothing could break their bond. They believed their beauty, fame, and love for one another would keep them together forever. But pride, jealousy, and selfishness slowly swept them away. The same girls who once lived like queens online were left begging for the normal things in life. There are 4 young women who walked together, laughed together, and lived like sisters. They called themselves the Gen Z Baddies. Their real names were Zuri, Amaka, Bella, and Lola. Each one was different, yet when they stood side by side, it was as if they were one soul split into 4 bodies. Zuri was bold, with glowing skin and eyes that shined like she had fire inside her. Amaka was the planner, calm and careful, but when she smiled, the whole room turned bright. Bella was the soft one, always kind and gentle, the one who carried peace in her voice. And Lola was the wild one, full of jokes, full of madness, and never afraid of trouble. Together they were unstoppable. They were young, they were beautiful, and everywhere they went, people turned to look. They wore matching clothes, danced to the same music, and posted pictures together on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. Their videos went viral, and people from Lagos to London knew their names. But beyond the followers and the likes, they truly loved one another. They shared secrets, dreams, food, and even tears. Nothing could break them, or so they thought. Every Friday, they gathered at Zuri's house. Her parents were always busy traveling, so her home became their meeting point. The girls cooked noodles, fried eggs, and sometimes made pepper soup while music blasted from the speakers. They danced, sang, and laughed until their stomachs hurt. One night, while they were eating and joking, Lola shouted, "One day we'll be the biggest girls in Lagos. People will beg us to come to their parties." Bella laughed and replied, "We? Or you? Because you're the one that cannot say no to parties." "Don't mind her," Amaka added, rolling her eyes. "Zuri and I will be CEOs. Bella will be a fashion designer, and Lola will still be dancing on tables." They all burst into laughter until Zuri raised her glass of chilled Maltina and said, "No matter what happens, no matter where life takes us, we must always remain sisters. Swear it." And right there, with noodles still in their plates and loud music filling the room, they swore to each other, "We will never break. Sisters forever." The night ended with more laughter, more dance, and a feeling of joy so strong that they believed nothing could touch them. Happiness continued for weeks. Their videos trended online, and people started inviting them to events. Fashion brands sent them clothes, DJs called them to hype their songs, and suddenly they were not just 4 girls. They were stars in their own right. But fame has a way of testing love. One evening, while scrolling through her phone, Zuri saw a post. It was a picture of Lola, tagged by another influencer. The caption read, "The real queen of Lagos nightlife, forget the rest." Zuri's heart sank. The rest. Was that meant for her? For Amaka? For Bella? She didn't say anything, but a small fire lit inside her chest. At the same time, Amaka was facing her own worries. She had dreams of opening a business, but the others laughed when she spoke about saving money. "Why save when we can live now?" Lola always said. Amaka kept quiet, but inside she felt left out. Bella too had her battles. She had fallen in love with a young man named David, and though he treated her kindly, the others teased her about being too soft, too emotional. She laughed it off, but every word pierced her heart. The Gen Z Baddies were still strong, still shining, but cracks were beginning to show. Small, invisible cracks that could one day tear them apart. Despite the little sparks of trouble, joy still ruled their days. They went on trips to beaches, danced barefoot on the sand, and took endless selfies under the hot Lagos sun. At night, they wore glittering gowns and attended clubs where music shook the ground. Men admired them. Women envied them. But among themselves they held secrets. First, they enjoyed the fame. Zuri smiled at the cameras and felt powerful. Lola loved the free drinks and endless attention. Bella posted pictures with David and received thousands of couple goals comments. Amaka kept quiet but was proud that people now respected them. But fame demanded sacrifice. Their friendship, once pure and easy, started to feel heavy. Zuri was the face of the group. Bold, daring, and always ready to talk. But the more attention she got, the more she began to see herself as the leader. One day, after they had finished a photo shoot, Zuri said, "From now on, people must know I'm the head of the group. Brands are coming to me first. I bring the shine." Lola laughed loudly, shaking her head. "I beg, calm down. Without me, who will hype the group? Who will make people laugh? You can't shine alone, Zuri." Bella tried to stop the argument, but Zuri's eyes burned. "Don't ever think you're bigger than me. People see me first before they even see you." Amaka's heart sank. The words felt like knives. Once upon a time, they swore to be sisters forever. But now, pride was beginning to poison their bond. While Zuri fought for attention, Lola battled something worse, a secret debt. She had borrowed $500,000 from a guy called Smokey, a street hustler who looked kind on the surface but was dangerous inside. At first it was small, but the interest grew. Now she owed more than she could pay. "Just give me time," Lola begged when Smokey called her one evening. "You have 1 week," his deep voice replied, "or I'll make sure Lagos knows the truth about you." Her hands shook as she dropped the phone. How could she tell the others? They would laugh at her. Or worse, they would leave her. So she smiled at the next girl's outing, dancing and shouting louder than everyone else, while her heart screamed in fear. Bella's love for David grew stronger. He was gentle, thoughtful, and always told her, "You're my peace." She believed him. But what she didn't know was that David's eyes were beginning to wander. He liked the way Zuri carried herself with fire. He liked the way Lola made people laugh. He even admired Amaka's seriousness. Bella thought she had love. In truth, she was standing inside a storm without knowing it. One night, as she texted David, "Good night, my love, red heart," David was at a lounge in Lekki, sitting beside Zuri. Their heads leaned close as they whispered things Bella could never imagine. Amaka watched everything. She saw the cracks forming, but she said nothing. She had always been the quiet one, the planner, the one who thought before speaking. But silence can be dangerous. She wanted to tell Bella that David was not faithful. She wanted to warn Lola that her laughter was hiding something dark. She wanted to tell Zuri to stop letting pride destroy her heart. But each time she opened her mouth, fear stopped her. "If I speak, they will call me jealous," she told herself. So she saved her words, just like she saved her money, hiding them away where no one could see. The breaking point came at a big influencer party in Ikoyi. The hall glittered with chandeliers, the air smelled of champagne, and music shook the ground. Celebrities walked in with bodyguards. Cameras flashed. The Gen Z Baddies arrived in silver gowns, their faces glowing with makeup, their smiles brighter than the lights. First, everything was fine. They danced, they posed for pictures, and they laughed. But then, little by little, the shadows began to show. Zuri refused to share the spotlight. She pushed forward, leaving the others behind. Lola flirted with men to forget her fear of Smokey. Bella noticed David's eyes following Zuri too often. Amaka stood in a corner, watching the disaster unfold. Then it happened. David walked up to Zuri and whispered something in her ear. Cameras caught it. People gasped. Bella froze, her drink falling from her hand. Lola shouted, "Ah, this is madness." Amaka closed her eyes, her heart breaking. By the end of that night, their promise of sisters forever had started to die. After the party in Ikoyi, the Gen Z Baddies were never the same. People whispered about Zuri and David. Bella cried at night, holding her phone in the dark. Lola laughed louder in public but shook in private, haunted by Smokey's threats. Amaka watched silently, her heart torn. They still posted pictures together, smiling in matching outfits, but behind the filters they were breaking apart. Fame, which once lifted them, had become fire. And fire, when left untamed, always burns. Zuri loved the spotlight too much. After David whispered to her that night, she started meeting him in secret. She told herself it was harmless. She told herself she deserved the attention. But the truth always comes out. One evening, Bella found a picture on Instagram. David and Zuri at a lounge, laughing, looking too close. Bella's heart broke into pieces. She confronted Zuri. "How could you? You knew he was mine." Zuri lifted her chin. "If he loved you, he wouldn't be with me. Don't blame me, Bella. Blame yourself." Those words spread like poison. The friendship cracked. The internet caught fire. Blogs wrote, "Gen Z baddies fight over man. Sisters turned enemies." Zuri became the most talked about, but in the wrong way. Her pride made her blind. Brands stopped calling. Fans turned against her. She was trending, but for shame. Her fall was slow and painful. Bella could not take it. She stopped eating. She stopped laughing. The girl who once carried peace in her voice now carried silence. David left her without looking back. He told her, "You're too weak, Bella. I need a woman with fire." Those words haunted her. She sat in her room one night, scrolling through old pictures of the four friends. She whispered, "We promised to be sisters forever. Why did it end like this?" Tears wet her pillow until sleep carried her away. In her dream, she saw herself standing at the beach, calling Zuri and Lola, but they walked away, leaving her alone. Bella's life became empty. Love betrayed her. Friendship abandoned her. She was alive, but inside she was gone. Lola's laughter finally failed her. Smokey came for her. "You owe me," he growled one night outside a club. "If you can't pay, you'll work for me. And believe me, it won't be pretty." Lola begged, her hands shaking. "Please give me time. I'll find the money." But there was no more time. Smokey dragged her into a world she never wanted, running errands for him, carrying shame on her shoulders, hiding bruises under makeup. Her Instagram still glowed with smiles, but behind the phone screen was pain, fear, and chains she could not break. The girl who once made everyone laugh now cried alone in bathrooms, her voice drowned by club music. Through it all, Amaka stayed silent, but she was the only one who still had sense. She saved her money, avoided scandal, and watched the others destroy themselves. She tried to warn them. "Zuri, stop chasing pride. Bella, don't give your heart fully to one man. Lola, control your spending." But they didn't listen. Now she stood alone. She was the last of the Gen Z baddies, the only one untouched by scandal, heartbreak, and shame. But her survival came with loneliness. She had no sisters left, just memories and the echo of a promise broken. One night, Amaka walked past a billboard that once had their faces on it. Now it was empty. A new group of girls had taken the spotlight. Time had moved on. She stopped, staring at the lights of Lagos, tears filling her eyes. "We wanted the world," she whispered. "But we lost ourselves." Her phone buzzed with messages from strangers asking, "Where are the Gen Z baddies? What happened to your sisters?" She didn't reply. She just put her phone in her pocket and kept walking. Fame without wisdom destroys. Light can blind if you don't carry humility in your heart. Friendship is like glass. Once broken by pride, lies, or betrayal, the cracks can never truly disappear. Money and greed bring chains. Live within your means, or your life will no longer belong to you. Love without loyalty is poison. Never give your whole heart to someone who doesn't respect it. Silence can save. Amaka stayed disciplined, and that discipline kept her standing when others fell. What is the use of having the world applaud you if your soul is quietly bleeding? Why do we fight to look perfect for strangers online, while our real lives are burning in secret? And most of all, who is truly your sister? The one who dances with you in the spotlight, or the one who holds your hand in the dark?